that a little later. Let's see what he's talking about here, because what he says is very, very revelatory. Max Kellerman.
You know, the state is defined famously in political science as the body with the monopoly on the legitimate use of force.
So you see what he said? He brought out a point. He said that in political science, the state is defined as the body on the monopoly of the legitimate use of force. So in other words, he's telling you, so-called liberal black man and woman, that no matter how much you complain, you don't have the right to take it to the next level of revolution. Only the police have the right to exercise wanton violence. Now, essentially, in a society with a, with a law, any type of force that is made to enforce law or policy, of course, they're supposed to have the right to utilize violence if necessary. But he's saying that you're not supposed to have the right to rebel or refute it when it is wanton. You just have to take it. Now, notice he's a so-called Jew. I wonder if he would have that same stance about the issues between the Israelis and the Palestinians over there in Israel. Now, it's a fact. Max is from New York. If you know anything about New York, the Caucasian Jews have their own police force. Why is that? I wonder if he would tell them that in a society, the police force should have the monopoly on violence and that they shouldn't have a police force. This is what I mean when I tell you so-called liberal blacks about the liberal Caucasian and their technology.
So in other words, there will always be police. There will always be the enforcement of law, and there will always be good and bad police.
So in other words, black man, he's telling you that your hopes are vain. All right, your hopes are vain. Stop looking for things to get better, because there's all that dynamic is always going to be there of the police having the having carte blanche per se to do what they want. You just have to deal with it.
As Stephen A. said, when you paint them with a broad brush, the people who are most emotionally affected by these kind of incidents, in my experience, other than obviously the victims themselves, and you can include in that people of color who feel victimized now because they feel as...
They don't feel victimized now. So-called people of color have felt victimized for a long time. But the reasons behind that are various. All right. One of the main reasons why modern day people of color feel victimized is because they've been implanted with programming that tells them that they're supposed to love the so-called Caucasian at all costs and want to come together and be equal to him. It's like the movie RoboCop, where he was programmed with 3 prime directives, and he had a hidden directive that he could never attack or kill one of the executives at OCP. And it wasn't until the end of the movie, when he broke his programming, that he was able to kill, what was his man named, Dick Jones? That's the so-called black man and black woman, the liberal so-called black man and black woman's problem. They have to break that last program. All right? The program that you have to break is that you're overly concerned with wanting to come together with the Caucasian. All right? That's not a sign of strength.
Feel as though this can happen to them or their children or loved ones for no good reason. A routine traffic stop and their loved one is dead. But the other group that's affected are police, good police. Police work is a thankless job. It doesn't pay very well. It's extremely risky. It comes with personal sacrifice. Yes, police are empowered, but the good police know that requires that's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, so like I've already stated, the job of a so-called police officer is to clean up the trash. They view you people who call yourself U.S. citizens as trash. All right? Their job is to write you tickets and citations and arrest you and levy you with all type of charges so that they can meet a monthly quota, because that's their job, is to tax you. All right? They print up these what you call Federal Reserve notes, fiat money. They print these bills up, or pardon me, these notes up to disperse to the U.S. population, and they need to collect those notes back because the U.S. government is in debt trillions of dollars to the Federal Reserve Bank. All right? That's all it's about. Sending the money out and getting it back. That's what they call money circulation. They have to figure out a way to tax you as much as possible. You know, I saw a brother who made a comment. He was talking about, well, I don't quite understand what's the bad thing about socialism. Marxism was set up as a way to destroy the so-called middle class. All right. How did they do that? By deprivatizing everything. Everything is now property of the state. By having things like a graduated income tax, where as your wages go up, so does the taxation. Okay. By trying to eradicate any form of spiritual belief system, by trying to obfuscate the roles in the family. These are all elements of Marxism, and Marxism was just set up to be a front for Luciferianism. All right, it's a mechanism for the investment bankers, for the international bankers, to really just take all your money. All right, it's just a front. That's all it is.